Hi folks, my name is Danny Reardon. I am currently one of your deputies. On my night shift, I do the first 6 months of my year is on nights, and I do the East End. I chose to do the East End because I believe, one, you guys need somebody up here that isn't afraid of the dark, and two, will get on this side of the county for you. So you've seen me probably sitting up there running traffic out on 52, and then I run at Osborne. So that's what I'm currently doing right now. My shift is 5:20 p.m. to 4 a.m. So my body is telling me right now I'm supposed to be asleep. Even though I got a few hours of sleep, because I took last night off so I could come talk to you guys, my body's still telling me, nope, words aren't working. So I'm gonna do my best to get to talk to you guys about what's going on. A little bit about me. I've been a deputy sheriff since 2002 for Lewis County. I've wore many hats since then. I was a detective for 7 years. I got out of detectives because of a very bad call. My cup got to the point where I couldn't handle anymore. I'm still handling those type of calls, but it's not like I am the main person that's having to take it from A to Z. I'm the guy that's there from A to B. So I did have a really bad call that broke me, and I stepped out of detectives, went into doing some narcotics with my partner. From that point on, I was a SWAT team member. I was the training officer for the SWAT team, the ATL, which is assistant team leader, and the team leader for the SWAT team. Alan Stahl and I were two of the first rescue swimmers that we brought on. We started that in 2009, somewhere right in there. We went through ropes course and swim course, and so we started our rescue swimming team because why? We flood, so we have to be able to handle a lot of emergencies. So while I was in detectives, I'm going to give you just a layout of who I am. In detectives, I don't know if you all remember Sandy Hook. There was an elementary school shooting that took a lot of lives. So I'm sitting in detectives, and it destroyed me because I had 2 little girls at that time, and I'm like, I gotta do something. We had a very, depending on whatever you felt like, Sheriff Mansfield was a cop sheriff. He wanted to put bad guys in jail and make it very difficult for bad guys to do bad guy stuff. So me, is always thinking outside the box. I came up with this idea of a deputy adopt a school program. So a deputy each week on day shift would adopt a school and just go there for 15 minutes and rotate around. The 2 things that it would help is, one, the deputy is there, he has tactical knowledge of the school. The second thing was the deputy, the bad guy saw the deputy and didn't know when he was going to show up. So we didn't have enough money for SRO. But sheriff's like, perfect plan that gets our kids used to you, and also you guys in the schools. So we came up with that plan. We've done a lot of things to mitigate and triple our force. We used to have a reserve program, something I want to bring back. We lost it during COVID for whatever reason. We need the reserves. We need those volunteers to help us. We need the volunteers to help the sheriff's office. Folks like you coming out and doing parades, things like that, getting involved in our community, doing flyer exchange when we have the new registered sex offender. They go out and they put the flyers up in the neighborhoods when they meet that criteria. So did the SWAT team, let me put it this way, I did everything that was really cool, that made my blood like, yeah, let's go do this, put bad guys in jail. So I went to college during my detective time and got my bachelor's degree for criminal justice, and then I promoted up to sergeant. I was a road sergeant for 6 months, and then I moved into the sheriff, moved me into the sheriff's enforcement team sergeant. So we were a proactive unit, and we went everywhere. We chased the bad guys because the bad guys do bad guy stuff here. They live in Pierce County, we'd go chase them. I had a hiccup. I had that issue back in the back that I didn't take care of, and so I made poor choices in my personal life, not at work. I ended up having an affair. Unfortunately, it was with a coworker, and so I lost my stripes. I still was determined to make sure that I was the right person to do the job for Sheriff Snaza. I believed in his mission at the time. Unfortunately, the mission kind of got skewed. So 2019, I reinvented myself, meaning that I figured out what was important to me, and what was important to me was you guys. So from that point on, I did everything I possibly could for the community, and not just for accolations of, hey, you did a great job, this, and this. So my big thing was figuring out a way, again, to take care of the community. That since in 2020, we had a lot of issues with people trespassing on people's properties. So I came up with a program, and it's called Authority to Arrest. So the property owner, who's not maybe, kind of like up here, your Airbnb owner doesn't live here, but he signs a paper saying that if there's some type of law enforcement activity, I can handle law enforcement. And we closed up a lot of drug activity locations out west. Out east here, the big thing for me is you guys don't have a voice, you guys don't get coverage. I try to get out here as much as I possibly can, and while I'm on duty, but again, there's only one deputy for the whole east end at night. And so, it's just, when 52 is closed, it's like a prong. So I'm either on this side of the county or I'm on this side of the county. And depending on how I roll the dice, it is what it is. But I try to get up here as much as possible because you guys deserve as much attention as the people around. So my goal is, I have a laundry list to fix here for our sheriff's office. And these are the bullet points that each area I'm looking towards. The administration, the bosses, having a totally different vision and getting back to being just law enforcement, not political. I'm not a mouthpiece for the Democrats, I'm not a mouthpiece for the Republicans, and I'm not a mouthpiece for the independents. I'm a mouthpiece for you. My job as the sheriff is to make sure that we have people trained, people know the job that we're going to do, and understand that we work under RCW. That's what we work under. I get my powers from the sheriff right now through Washington State Constitution. Not the US Constitution, but Washington State Constitution. The supreme law of the land is the US Constitution. But I get my powers from my sheriff, who deputized me, and I get it from Washington State Constitution. Washington State legislatures do control our job duties of what the sheriff is. And you have to take care of courts, you have to do civil, you have to do certain things they mandate us to do. But the sheriff is the highest law officer in the county. No matter what, the sheriff is it. So there's a litany of RTWs that explain what my job role is as the sheriff. And you can go on there, I mean, it sounds, some of the stuff is from the Western days, and some of it's now current. But I believe my vision for my bosses, people around me, is going to be we're proactive, we're for law enforcement, and we're forward to get people, deputies, into areas where they need to be. My goal is to get 2 deputies in the East End at all times, 1 deputy in the PL Doty area, because they're just like you guys out here. The West End doesn't get that patrol, and then the rest can work in the middle portion and I-5. Our job is the unincorporated Lewis County, not Centralia, not Chehalis, not Toledo, not Winlock. It's the unincorporated, and unfortunately, when you don't have a vision from the top that flows down, then we just end up being where we're at right now. We look good on paper, not gonna lie. We look good on paper. Unfortunately, we can be good truly out on the road. Again, so there's a list of items that I want. The big thing is get people up here working, keep our jail staffed, that's a huge thing, and keep it to where it's no frills. Getting back to John McCroskey time, his big thing was no frills jail, you'll do your time, we'll take care of you, we'll treat you with respect, and hopefully you don't want to come back and you change your life. So that's the big thing. Sheriff Mansfield, his goal during his time was put the bad guys in jail and make it difficult for bad guys to do bad guy stuff. So that mentality I want to bring back. We kind of got away from it for whatever reason. I'm not here to blame or shift or anything like that. But we just need to get back to being cops. That's what I am. Good or bad, no matter what, you can have your personal views about what I did in my personal life, which did affect my job. That's totally fine, and I respect that. And my big thing is I have a video I just put out. Sorry, side note, folks. I know I'm talking way too much. But side note, as I put a video out last night, because I have a YouTube channel, because I am grassroots. I am not the other people that are running for sheriff. I'm working a night shift. I am not able to get out and see my folks like everybody else is. I'm not putting on any armor. I'm not putting on a costume. I am not saying that I'm something other than what I am here. I'm a cop. So again, certain things here kind of resonate with a lot of people. Oh, remember what I told you guys about me not getting some sleep? I'll get back on track here. So I put out a video last night. It was talking about your civic duties as citizens of the United States of America and of Lewis County and if you're a municipality. And the big thing is to educate yourself on the people who are running. Educate yourself. Right? Like I said, you can vote Democrat because you're Democrat and that's your beliefs. You can vote Republican and vote in because that's your beliefs. But again, when it comes to like the sheriff's position, it's truly independent. The badge represents every single person in our county, and that's people passing through, and that's people that live here. That's the job. Is that badge means truly the preamble for our Bill of Rights. We the people, and it's the people. I don't care who you are, what religion, anything like that. We're here for you guys to do our job, and that's our number one thing. If you're a bad guy, we're going to treat you like a bad guy, but we'll do it with respect too. I have one person that he's probably one of my biggest promoters out there, biggest persons that share my stuff. And it's a person that I arrested several times. But he always says, I think his last one he just put out was, this guy will arrest you on Sunday, book you in jail, and he will talk to you as a friend on Monday. And so that means a lot to me because it's not personal. We're doing our job. So again, I've got a lot of history. There's information out there in Google. Some of it's true, some of it's not. But again, it's the words that are coming out of these people's mouths and listening to the truth behind it. You're going to be able to tell the people that are trying to sell you, I am a good person by checking these boxes here. And you're going to hear people say, hey, this, and this. I'm not your warm and fuzzy dude. I'm not that. I'm your cop. I'm the person that's going to stand in between you and bad guys. That's my job. So I've rambled on a lot. Apologize again. My brain is right now still wants to sleep. So I did pass out this paperwork here. So is there anything on there or any questions for you guys? Because truly, you guys are my second group that I talked to because I reached out to Mineral, met with Mineral, and I wanted to reach out to you guys because, again, those two areas are the places, again, that your voices aren't heard. And it's kind of like, I don't want you guys to give up on us as the sheriff's office. I know that it feels like if I call them, they don't do anything, or it takes them forever to get here. There's reasons why we're doing some things, and it's just because our vision is a little bit off, but we want to try to bring it back in. So, anybody have any questions for me? Yes, ma'am.
What are the steps that you would take to get additional deputies to East?
So right now for me, there's people that are doing jobs that can be doing patrol jobs. Taking some of the uniformed personnel that are doing office stuff and putting them back out on the road, and then having some of our civilian employees handle that portion of it. So that's one of my goals, is to look at that. The other is to we have a really good work schedule. but our start times and end times, I believe, can be staggered to where we can give the deputies coverage through just doing that. I'd like to get 6 deputies, and that's something that you have to work with the commissioners on to get that. They technically want to pull some of our money. However, I think if it's the product that we're putting out for you guys, that customer service, your voices behind us would be something that would keep them, hey, we do need to, instead of pulling from public safety, push for more public safety. And again, that's the product that we give you. If we don't give you a product that you're not happy with, you're not going to be behind us. And that's the big thing for me, is getting that communication back to where you guys are going, hey, this is good, they're doing good work here, they're doing this. I mean, the last few years, we went away from just telling you folks, even by social media, that this is something that we did good this week. This is something we did good this week. Hey, we stepped on it this week. We're going to change this because of this reason. Have that open communication so you guys buy in and be behind us 100%. That's the big thing for me is, there's guys, there's people that want to do some things, put a jail up east, things like that. That's not fiscal feasible. I mean, and it's just, you can't do it. My big thing is to look at the picture, common sense approach, meat and potatoes. I'm a meat and potatoes person. I use language that is common folk. I'm not going to go out there and use some big words or anything like crazy like that, because that's not me. I talk to just from everybody from PhDs down to people who never graduated. So I'm a meat and potatoes person, and I don't pull punches. You guys ask a question, I'll give you the answer. You may not like the answer, but I will give you the answer. And if it's the wrong answer, I'll go back, I'll find out, and I'll come back and tell you I made the wrong answer, or I made the wrong choice, and we will fix this. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how we have to grow as an office. If we shield ourselves from people that are upset with us, then we're never going to grow. We're never going to get better. But on the same sense as give the people that are happy with us, hey, Deputy Reardon, I'm so glad that you're up here doing traffic. Thank you. It does mean something that for us, especially the line deputies, that we're out there trying for you. But again, we're just kind of lost right this moment, I believe, me personally. And that's the reason why I'm running for sheriff. Because trust me, I'd rather not have my name out there and deal with all of the anger because of the other people that are running or the constituents that are behind them. It's politics. I'm not a politician. Never lived my life like a politician. That doesn't mean I'm crazy. But I'm just saying, I just never lived my life like a politician. I'm not a facade. I don't have a facade. I don't have a, I guess, an outfit or whatever. I'm just a cop. And I believe that's truly what the sheriff needs to get back to being, is a cop. Not a political figure, but a cop.
When you're on duty, are you in uniform then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That way it's easier to recognize you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Can't talk politics, though, when I'm in uniform.
No, I'm not doing that.
I can't put pictures of me in uniform and my pretty stuff and all my
I
rewards.
just want to know if you're called up and have to come up here for something, if you're in the uniform, whoever, you need to go and see, they realize that you are sheriff.
So back when I was doing the Sheriff's Enforcement team, when I was a sergeant for them, I showed up to calls just in my vest and my Hawaiian shorts and t-shirt. Guess what? Those people knew that I was the cop. No matter what. They were like, hey, this guy, he's off duty, he showed
like
up.
you're saying, we aren't represented yet, so nobody knows.
Well, no, you're represented. You're represented. You just don't get, I believe you guys need more. Let's put it that way.
We need a lot more.
Yes, sir. I like that attitude.
Yeah.
So, anybody else with any other questions? I don't mean to take up all your
First
time.
off, I've been in your shoes, and I've had those calls, so I totally get it, where you're coming from. It does affect you.
Yeah.
I know one thing, when I was on that side of the board, the previous year, I think it's a couple sheriffs ago, we looked at paying overtime just for an officer presence up here. Not 8 hours, and not every weekend, but maybe a 4-hour shot on weekends. So is that something that could potentially happen
I don't,
if the board had money to
I don't see why it could not. And that's something that we used to do. So we used to do it for, the park there at Rife Lake, the big park there. We used to do that. We did 4-hour shifts there. We do, Vader actually has a contract with us, so we do time there. But it's a means to get another deputy up here, of course. There's always an opportunity to do that. It's just, unfortunately, it's the person who you talk to, it's important to them to make that happen. If I can make it really easy for me, I'm not gonna do anything other than, no, we can't do that. We don't have the manpower for that. If we have a shift that's not fulfilled, then we'll get it filled. I mean, there's opportunities that I believe that we are not taking, like a reserve program. Getting the reserves back in here is the cheapest thing for us to double our manpower, so we can put somebody in that car with that deputy.
I think officer presence would just help out immensely up there for that, because it wouldn't take much. So just so you know, you probably pay mileage from the time they sign the service to the time they sign out of service. So they're probably gonna have an hour or 2 hours there, depending on where they're traveling from, plus their benefits and everything else. I don't recall the cost offhand, but
It was hard to swallow.
it was hard to swallow, but if you took advantage of that on your major holidays, it could help out. Again, it's just officer presence. The other thing I was gonna say is we had this set up, when I was on the set board, we had this building set up so your officers could come in here.
Yep.
They could use the microwave, you have lunch, we have the phone here, they've got the bathroom. I know how many times I've been out there in the middle of no man's land, and there's no bathroom around. So,
Well, you guys used to have Wi-Fi too. We used to sit in your parking lot and use Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So see, that's the thing is we haven't had any contact with you guys. I mean, honestly, I pulled up here and I saw it said water department, didn't even. But then I went around, I saw the billboard, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna reach out to these folks because it's important for me to reach out to them, let you guys know that you're not forgotten. At least no matter what, you do have a deputy. Even if I don't get the gig, you do have a deputy that's out here trying his best to make sure that you guys have some law enforcement coverage. So
Again, it all comes down to officer presence.
Yeah.
The last thing I asked you over here is, how is the legislation going to affect the sheriffs and their committee?
well, it's going to be so that if you're talking about the sheriff's the new law with the sheriffs,
Yes.
it's going to go through the courts because I believe that because the sheriff portion is in the Washington State Constitution. That law is not an amendment to the Constitution, so there's going to be a legal battle for that. Who that legal battle is going to be on first is I don't know. The other portion of that is because people talk about the decertification portion of that, and that is CJTC. So what happens is you don't like what I say because I do come out and say something and you don't like it. You may be the only person in Lewis County that doesn't like it, but you have the ability then to go and make a complaint, anonymous or not, to the CJTC. And that's the same with me right now. I mean, it's funny that some people are just getting complaints right now and they're like, make this huge thing. However, I get a complaint at CJTC every single year, at least. I mean, even if I solved your crime, you didn't like the fact that I didn't do this, and I couldn't legally do this, but I've had that, and I mean, and then I've had that person who's 5150, a person that has mental health, believes that I need to be doing something for their case, and I can't do it, didn't have the legal right to do it, and they write a litany stating thing, and they have to let you know, CJTC lets you know, hey, you got an investigation going on. So that's the thing that kind of scares these sitting sheriffs is just that. But here's the thing, truly in my brain, this is just common sense, and me maybe being too idealistic, believing that we're all out to try to do the right thing. If a sheriff commits a crime, just like a deputy commits a crime, they lose their certification through that. They should not be sheriff. And I believe we have legal means to take them out at that point, do a recall if the sheriff, for whatever reason, decides, I'm not coming out of my seat. When you committed a crime, you're just certified, you need to move. Most of the time, people will resign anyways. That's how life is. But if somebody remains there, we have the legal remedy to go through that process, do a recall, and go that route. So that's the issue that these guys are thinking is well, somebody can make a complaint and the CJTC is gonna target me because I am conservative. I am very vocal Republican, or if we switch the houses, I'm very Democrat. I don't think CJTC is going to do that. Is there a process that possibly can happen? Yes. But the big thing too is I'm not afraid of that, but what I'm afraid of is the other requirements they put in there. They are now saying that they are going to do our background to be sheriff. And so then it does come down to, well, what do you have? Are you Republican? Are you a Democrat? Are you a Libertarian? Are you independent? They will look at that, and if that doesn't meet their criteria, then they can target you. And it's kind of scary because depending on whoever's in charge, Democrats or Republicans, whoever, the term of who they don't like, I guess, it holds a lot of weight. So just like if you haven't watched the news with the bill coming forward, Sheriff Swink, he hung it out. I mean, no matter what, he hung it out, said some things, and I'm like, ooh, boss. I mean, I understand your point, what you're trying to get to there, but man, you just put a target on your back. And I think that's what he really wants. I believe he's going to be the first one to take it through and challenge it, because it from what I see, it doesn't have a lawful right. There's not that connection because you didn't change the Constitution. So it will be interesting to see how that does pan out. And again, we do get our powers from Washington State, not from the U.S. Constitution. So when people are like, this Constitution, yes, the supreme law we enforce, we protect your supreme rights. And the supreme rights are 1 through 10 in the U.S. Constitution. And then if you look at the Washington State Constitution, and if you guys haven't ever looked at the Washington State Constitution, look at the Washington State Constitution and see how your amendments, compared to what your United States Constitution amendments are, and how they're enumerated, and how they thought this is important, this is important, this is important, and it kind of flows. Look at your Washington State one. You'll be kind of surprised, like, what? Everything's there, but it just, the different order that we put it in is kind of interesting. It's really, truly interesting. So, again, it's one of those things that we're going to see how it turns out. I don't like the fact that they did that because there was already means to take care of the issue. I mean, they can decertify a sheriff right now, taking his police powers away. Again, common sense, it's an elected official. What do elected officials always do when they kind of step on it? They resign. That's just part of the thing, because it's the proper thing to do. Again, meat and potatoes. So it's just one of those things we're just going to sit back and wait to see what truly happens here. But again, it's going to be an interesting time for a lot of things, because a lot of our laws are changing too, because they're reducing some things for registered sex offenders. They're in court, and they're raising the DUI limit or lowering it down to that. I mean, it's just, I sit back and I try to figure out why is this important to them this way? And just so you guys know, if you ever get on my page and look, my number one goal as a sheriff is to take care of my citizens. Number two thing is we will go after the bad guys doing bad guy stuff to kids. I am done with that. We have a program called ICAC that finds people that use IP addresses and doing child porn. We're coming for you. I'm done with you. If I can't get you here, I'm going to make sure my kids down here and the people around us in Lewis County are protected. So that's number one. Second thing is take care of the kids at school. That's a big thing for me. We will get everybody taken care of. We'll get people out on the road protected, but we're also, my detectives are going after bad